ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin from Mulvey Marine. Finally with an update on this 1968 Mercury Cougar. Finally moved it into the shop, got on some dollies. I've taken a look at it, kind of got me a game plan going on, and I'll tell you what we're fixing to do. I'm gonna start tearing off the body panels, stripping the entire front end of the car, basically, hood, everything, grill. I'm gonna tear everything from the firewall right here. Everything forward of that's coming off. It's gonna get sanded and painted. And I got a lot of rust to fix. I mean, a lot. Like, let me tell you, got a tiny rust hole right here that wasn't done right the first time because it immediately rusted back through. There's nothing rusted through right here, but it's gotta get cleaned. The vinyl top was holding a whole lot of moisture underneath there. That's not the bad part. The bad part is right here. I can damn near stick a pocket knife straight through most of this stuff right here. And back here, good God, this whole strip down here that holds the windshield up, the whole bit's got to come off. Along with right here, I literally stabbed that with a pocket knife, and it went about 1 inch deep. So that right there has got to come off. A lot of body work, a lot of body work. But finally getting the title in my name is why I'm actually brought it in here. But it's gonna happen very soon. I think I'm gonna put up a Patreon or something because I need a camera, and I got no money to buy a camera because times are tough at the moment. But I really want to get this started because I know a lot of people want to see it, and I definitely want to do it. Still don't know exactly what motor's in it. Pretty sure it's a 302 or a 5, or what you call it, maybe a 351 Cleveland. Really not sure. I'm not a Ford guy at all. But I put a ratchet on it. It just barely spins. It's got like I think it's a Holly 2 barrel or something on an Elbrock intake. The guy I got it from said that the motor and transmission have been rebuilt, but that was about 15-20 years ago. It's been sitting ever since. It's got these nice ass rims too, but a lot of damage, or rust damage, a lot of shit to get gone through. So this is not going to be a happy-go-lucky get her started and then run it down a track type deal. This is going to have to be a full, take it apart piece by piece restoration. And boy, let me tell you, it's going to take a while. But on the bright side, that means you get plenty of content to watch of me, a 20-year-old who's never worked on a Ford in his fucking life, fixing the Ford. I got the hood off. That was kind of hard. It was only being held on by 2 bolts at the bottom. I put my engine lift up at the top of the hood, hold it up while I unbolted it, and I just manhandled that bitch off here. But you see right here, this is the rust that I was talking about. At this point, I don't think this hood is really worth saving unless I can find a really good bodywork dude that can fix this cheaper than I can buy it. But it's a shame because the rest of the hood's actually in pretty good condition. Got some surface rust right here and some on the right here on the other side, but it's just surface rust where the paint's bubbled up and it's a little red. But it's a shame that this is so fucked because, like, look at it. I don't want to touch it because, you know, I'm not sure how up to date I am on my tetanus shots, but I could probably knock through that with my pocket knife actually. Give me a sec. Maybe not. Maybe I already mashed out all the bad stuff, but you can hear this whole hood is full of water. It's full of sand. I mean, rust, but sandy rust. Oh man, what's next? Guess I'll start on the bumper or something. If I can get the bumper off. It's been in some kind of wreck right here. I don't know if you can see it, like this side versus that side. And obviously this piece right here is kind of messed up, but this whole bumper section has been pushed in. Somebody's hit something. It's dented the bumper really bad. It's kind of hard to see. I'm filming with an iPhone 6, by the way, so bear with me until I get a new one. But I think I'm gonna get the bumper and the grill stuff out and see what it takes to take these fender wells off. These fender wells, I'm gonna show you on the other side, it's really bad. Studio lighting, dude. You can see this right here. This is all gone right here. It's supposed to go further towards the pinch weld, but it's all just rusted away. It's supposed to be bolted on. See, like right there. There's a bolt in here somewhere. And I don't know where else this thing bolts to under here. Up around this way. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Them little turds coming off, man. Coming off. I want it to be known, it took me over an hour to get that little piece of metal off. Getting these bolts and stuff out of here, man. I had to use the torch. I had to use that rust fluid stuff. Let's talk about that in a second. Man, I was up under there with the impact, wrenches, using my ratchet somewhere around here, man. That was tough, but I got it off. That's the first piece that gets cleaned up, I guess. My buddy, Jamie, she wants to help clean up on this car. She really likes doing the that rust removal and, you know, painting and making it look nice stuff. So I got some friends that are gonna help on this too. But man, this is gonna be rough. It took me an hour just to get that one bumper off. So I hope that doesn't set the precedent for how hard everything else is gonna be. Holy crap, man. This stuff right here, man, fluid film, y'all need to sponsor me. This is a great fucking product, dude. I found a can of this in a toolbox one time and used it. It's fucking great, dude. I know on this car I'm gonna use a lot of it, so you should totally sponsor me, dude. Okay, so I did get the bumper off. Tell you what was going on with it, though. Somebody had decided to weld it right here. This little baby tack welds was enough to keep me from getting it off. I was beating the shit out of it with a hammer and stuff. That side, it just unbolted and slid right off. This side was, since it's the damaged side, this part right here, right there, bent inwards, causing this rod to slide back. So instead of taking the time to bend it out and re-bolt it, they just welded it in place. Over here on the side of the car, up in there, right there. I did that like 2 days ago, actually. This is, I think it's Thursday, Friday or something. I don't know, man. I'm working on it some more today. I need to try and get the grill off. How hard can it be, though? Another 30 minutes later, and I got that one piece off. It goes on top of the bumper for trim, I guess. I was held on by 6 bolts on the front. That was the easiest thing to come off so far, but I still had to use a damn 6-foot breaker bar to get that nut over there out. Moving on to the headlight assemblies, I think they're held on with some kind of brackets. We'll see. Okay, so I've got it figured out. It was held in a couple bolts that go right here, and there's a little Mercury emblem that goes right in between the vertical grills, but there's 2 bolts down here. They're rusted like a mofo, so right now I'm letting them sit in some PB Blaster. I gotta bungee cord it up because I have to be under the car to get those bolts out that way, so I don't want it to fall on me. I found one place to unplug it and all. We'll see what happens. There's gonna be a lot of saying, we'll see what happens in this project right here. It will run! Bada boom, about 5 minutes later, I got it off. Thankfully, it comes off in a assembly like this. I'm trying to be a little gentle with it, but I don't want to have to buy another one. But yep. The vacuum hoses hold me up for a little bit. Got those off, got the wires unplugged. Came off really easy. There's actually only, aside from the 2 bolts over here, There's just these 2 bolts right here, and it just came off. There's the horn right there. I did test the horn actually. I hooked up a battery box to it. It works great, which was kind of funny. Just a little bit of motivation for the project, knowing that something, at least one thing, wasn't broken. So the little vacuum solenoid, whatchamacallit, makes the headlights pop up. Pretty sure I showed on the introduction video of this thing that this right here slides up, revealing the headlights, which is really cool to me. I've always wanted a car with pop-up, up and down headlights. But now we're moving on to getting this fender off. That's what I really wanted to get to, because it's full of rust. I can't wait to paint it and get up into the tire well and stuff, get all the suspension off. It should be fun. And I'm going to try and get, well, not try, I am going to get eventually a better camera, because I want to set up a bipod or something. I could set it up over here on one of these tables or something, maybe on a shelf, I don't know, somewhere. That way I can have more content of me just working instead of having to bring up piece by piece, play by play after I've done the work, because I feel like it'll be more enjoyable to see how it comes off as it happens, because I'm learning excuse me, I'm learning as I'm doing it. Good, getting gassy. Got me a brisk sweet tea over there. This thing's great. Down a can in about 2 seconds. But like I said, I'm learning this piece by piece. I know nothing about this, well, next to nothing about this car. I have done this style of disassembly before. I actually had to rebuild the engine in my 04 Silverado. That was really fun. But the fender wells didn't have to come off for that. And there's no rust on my truck, thankfully. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I'm also tuning it, like with HP tuners. After I rebuilt it, I put a cam in it and all that stuff. And then I realized I was getting off track, so then I ended the video. Or at least the clip, so. Moving on to the fender. Well, I did it. I got that thing off of there. It's not as bad as I was expecting, but quarter panel has sustained a massive amount of rust damage down there. Lots of surface rust up here. I haven't looked at it too in detail yet, but it's salvageable. But I'm fixing to have to get real good at welding and body work. So I don't know how I'm gonna fix this whole corner right here. Like, that's all gotta go. Because like, this piece right here is almost completely unseparated. The top is alright. I think I can get away with just sanding it down and painting it for the most part. I'm going to use some kind of rust inhibitor as well. So maybe some of that rust neutralizing primer. Not really sure. But I got into here. Oh hell, that's really bright. Not much to say. Got it. This right here, it looks like it's just surface rust, except for right there in between the bolt holes. Might have to weld a plate in that. It's gonna be a lot of welding, a lot of massaging. Suspension parts themselves don't look bad, so I think I can salvage most of the suspension. But it's all gotta come off, get painted, and needs new bushings. Alright, a single good bushing on this whole car. And I even had to use a pry bar to get down into the, you can't see it, there's no light, but I had to use a pry bar to get down into the lock mechanism and unlock this door so I could get to a bolt that holds the panel in. So I think it's safe to call this a build now, or at least a demo. Oh man, good times. Okay, so we got that quarter panel and the other quarter panel taken off. Basically from the firewall forward, all body and stuff is done. think we'll do the engine pull, and starting with the radiator and stuff. Everything in here is going to come out another day. I don't feel like doing it today, but I'm going to start, once I get the motor out, I'm going to clean up in the wheel wells, get the suspension out, bushings, sand, paint, all that good stuff. This side is really rusty. Might have to replace this one. I'll see what I can do about using it, because I'd like to, just to say I did. Then we got the other one off. This one's actually in a lot better condition. It doesn't look like I need to do any sheet metal replacement necessarily, but I do have to fix it up nice. And I also have to get a piece of the headlight is broken. This from here to here is still part of this headlight assembly, but on this side it broke off. So I gotta get a new one, or at least figure out how to fix the old one. And there was a weird vacuum tank underneath this fender. I don't know what that does. Anyways, I think that's all for today, and for probably the next week. Later.